I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually took a break from playing Helldivers for a lot longer than I thought I would, and it was a little unintentional, to be honest. Ever since Destiny 2 ended, I kind of weirdly did a thing where my impulses got the better of me, and I filled that Destiny 2 shaped hole with another PvE focused video game, one with a sandbox that is incredibly reactive, and I think that's the reason I love Helldivers the most right now. And then it just dropped an update out of nowhere that I was kind of like passively curious about because I haven't really played that much of it, and dude, the latest update is fucking incredible. I can't believe the major order is already over. If you're watching this video, I'm sorry to say you cannot fight or play with the SEAF right now. They're gone. The new void locations that were getting brought in and all of the new enemy types for the Illuminate, they're out of the game again because people beat the major order so fast that it's over. Can't experience any of the cool shit. It will come back. SEAF will end up on different fronts. The new enemies will have different types that will be constantly available. Helldivers does this. They kind of make it really special for a second, then they kind of pull it away because look, you won, you beat the enemies, they're gone. Like we have a reason to not bring them back in, and then give it like a week or two and you'll start seeing stuff sprinkle around, and then maybe like a couple more days later and then you'll see SEAF like all over the place. Holy shit, dude, like Helldivers is just the game that keeps on fucking giving. Like I feel myself getting re-addicted to this title all over again. Like the way that they constantly keep evolving things. Like I know the community has like a million tiny things here and there and nitpicks and gripes for people that play this like 24 fucking 7. I am not that kind of guy. I play video games by hopping around from different stuff from week to week. I really wish I had some discipline and I could just like play the same thing over and over because I would beat games way faster. Take it from the guy who just beat Uncharted 4 10 fucking years later. That's my problem. That's what I'm trying to say. I jump around a bunch, so I don't have the fatigue that people do with Helldivers. I see a lot of the issues, but then like I play really intensely for about a week, and then I kind of take a break, and then I come back a week later, and I'm like, still good. About 2 weeks later, I'm like, damn, new Warbond just popped out and a few new updates. That's sick. But those massive like chapter title defining updates, when they roll around and things kind of flip over to the next moment, always worth paying attention to. The release of Cyberstan and the Cyborgs and that enemy faction inside of the automatons was really fucking fun. This Illuminate update was great. And dude, oh my God, like they're really making it feel like a war out here now. So if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen the update for yourself, or you've just not been paying attention, SEAF soldiers will now spawn with you and drop onto the planet organically via gunships and dropships, and an entire army will fight side by side with you. And this isn't like just a bunch of dumbass NPCs running around just getting shot at. They are coordinated, they work together, they work with you, they support you, and they are fighting by your side constantly. They fucking rule. They're not exactly on the same level as like Halo CE Marines just jumping in a Warthog with you and driving around, but Arrowhead wants them to feel that way, dude, and they're getting pretty fucking close. You can go up to these guys and you can do like emotes with them, you can do high fives with them. They're feigning at your existence because look, you're like a spec ops soldier, you're a Navy SEAL, you're the best of the fucking best. They think you are the shit, and they're so happy for you to be there. It is so fucking cool walking up to an engagement with like a whole set of a platoon of enemies, and there's already like huge gunfire, massive rockets, stuff flying back and forth, shit blowing up over here, SEAF trying to run for cover over there. It kicks ass. And then the new Illuminate enemies round out the faction so well. You've got these new like wretches, they're like Dead Space necromorph type enemies, and you can only really do damage to them by shooting off their limbs. So good nod there, Arrowhead. I like the consistency of the game mechanics. Some people might call that stealing. I'm going to call it inspiration and just love for the genre. I think it's a lot of fun. They're a lot slower and they're not as creepy as the necromorphs are in like Dead Space. They will kind of like walk on all fours floors, and then they might do this crazy like jump attack, which has caught me completely off guard multiple times. Going for the headshot doesn't really do anything for these guys. They just stand up on their hind legs and just start swinging wildly until you start to chew up the rest of their limbs. So fun enemy. They fall apart well, and the physics always gives you something really fucking cool to look at once you start shooting at them. The other two major enemies, we've got some new like observer enemy types. They group up in large flocks. They fly around and they'll shoot you individually. They don't really call for reinforcements. They're fun to fight against because they cause you to take some cover and they kind of swarm you a little bit. The other major one that is really interesting is the Crusher. It's just this incredibly fucking slow bipedal hominid walking with a giant baseball bat club of a weapon that has way more fucking range than you think it does, and it will just show up and just slam the ground. Trolls out of Skyrim style, just beating the crap out of the ground. And they take a beating. They are not easy to kill, so it's really, really entertaining just to be laying in gunfire into these guys and just wondering how long do I have to shoot this fucking thing until it drops. Turns out the entire time, because it will hit you. I have wasted entire magazines into this fucking thing and it still shows up and whacks me. It's fucking super fun to fight against, and it's great. It adds a really good change of pacing to it. I don't know how to pronounce this thing. I'm gonna call it the Gatekeeper. It's not a Gatekeeper. These things are fucking pretty interesting as well. They were added in a prior update. They add a lot of like, holy shit, there's a big thing coming at me energy, and sometimes it's all you really need for some excitement. Honestly, the thing that seriously sells me on the game's newest update is the SEAF. I can't wait to fight with these things on the bug front. I can't wait to fight with these things, especially on the bots. Getting armies versus other armies, and I'm just a guy there with a little bit more guns than the other person, is going to be incredibly entertaining. The sandbox of Helldivers 2 is just so diverse. You can do just about anything you kind of feel like inside of there. I know people are going to get upset about the meta. I don't really give a fuck about metas. I'm just here to have a good time. And look, man, I can take my favorite loadout, sit on top of a sniper's nest with a jetpack, and just start bopping people from miles away. Doing that with a giant army of SEAF soldiers is going to be way too fucking cool. So I can't wait to see more of it. Helldivers, that is a slam dunk of an update. I hope you do more stuff, and please give me SEAF troops on other fronts sooner rather than later. My last request is just armor customization when, please. So have you guys been playing Helldivers 2? Have you tried out the latest update? I took a little bit of a break, but as always, like, these massive title updates are really worth the time, and I think this one is one of the coolest that they've done, just because the implications of the large-scale battles that they've got going on here, sick. Just so sick. So I can't wait to see what else they do. All right, I will see you guys next time.